We're definitely the IDF, the entire defense establishment, obviously, has been caught unawares, and this is a tremendous failure of the defensive efforts.
I think it's quite clear that this attack caught Israel by surprise, unfortunately. Obviously, there is no way that such terrible consequences would have occurred if Israeli forces intelligence were at the kind of readiness that we know and expect.
We're definitely the IDF, the entire defense establishment, obviously, has been caught unawares, and this is a tremendous failure of the defensive efforts, a failure that will have to be rigorously examined, and tough questions will be asked by Israeli civilians living in those communities to the defense establishment. How did this happen, and why didn't you prevent it? But I suggest that these topics will be left for the day after. What needs to be done now, and the Israeli focus, is to find all the terrorists, kill them as soon as possible, and then start making Hamas and their senders pay an extremely unbearable, heavy price for their murderous attacks against Israeli civilians. A time will come when we will sit down, Israelis will sit down and ask questions and answer questions. That will have to be. Now the focus is on defending lives and getting the terrorists out of Israel and preventing a further escalation of the situation inside Israel.
I think it's quite clear that this attack caught Israel by surprise, unfortunately. Obviously, there is no way that such terrible consequences would have occurred if Israeli forces intelligence were at the kind of readiness that we know and expect. That was what occurred. That was how it happened. And currently we are in a state of war. We're still in the fog of war. We don't know everything we need to know, but we really are just at the beginning of this campaign. Well, I think there's a sequence of challenges and tasks at hand, beginning with still getting all the areas down south where there were terrorist infiltrations completely cleared. To be completely clear, it will take a while. The forces are walking truly house by house and corner by corner, making sure terrorists aren't hiding anywhere, making sure there still aren't pockets. So we have the immediate task of still finalizing the immediate situation down south. We have the larger tasks of making sure that all other arenas that we face, and Israel faces various arenas, stay calm, including the internal arena, where in the past we've seen some infighting in mixed Arab-Israeli towns. And so we have had skirmishes overnight with Hezbollah up north, which I think is probably the main concern as far as getting Hezbollah possibly involved. So we basically are going to have to see what happens in all of these different arenas. But I think it is inevitable that there will be very strong retribution within the Gaza Strip. And I think it will be of a magnitude what we certainly have not seen before.